I'm beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 242, Glover. Released in 1998, this game was developed by Interactive Studios and published by Hasbro Interactive. This is a game I've been asked about several times during this challenge. It's a weird one where I recognize the name and recall seeing it at rental stores, but I didn't really know anything about it. Never played it, never seen anyone play it. We're going in here with zero knowledge. One thing I do know about this game is there was a sequel plan that was partially finished but never released. A company bought the source code to it, so maybe it'll see the light of day at some point. Anyway, I'm excited. Let's get into it. The main menu had a practice option, so I figured I should try that to start. It took me into a room where I was introduced to Mr. Tip. He says we can speak to him if we want any tips. Makes sense. This is a good way to learn the moves of the game. We play as a glove, it seems, and we can jump and even do a double jump. Glover can do a cartwheel. Not sure how useful that'll be. And crawl? I mean, I guess that's how a glove would crawl. So not only are we a glove, but we have this ball to roll around. This is so strange already. We can bounce the ball too, in order to navigate jumps. Some ledges are too high to bounce up though. Fear not, Glover can throw the ball to an even higher place, then climb up there himself. Glover's throw is good for verticality, but what about horizontal distance? Well, he can slap the ball to knock it even further. Okay, I'm 4 minutes into the tutorial, and this is one of the strangest games I've played. To cross water, Glover can stand on the ball and balance himself. This swaps you to inverted controls, and it feels so strange to do. I can't stress how unnatural this movement feels. If a ledge is too high for even throwing, you can combine bouncing and throwing. Weirdly, Glover just kinda hovers in place while you aim where to throw it. Anyway, that's the gist of Glover's moveset. Alright, let's get into the main single player game. I could pick either easy or normal difficulty. Guess I'll go normal? Wonder what the difference is. We get a basic cutscene to set the stage. There's a rather large castle with some crystals on the points. A wizard lives here and he seems to be brewing something in a cauldron. Just a normal day in the world of wizardry. Except it wasn't normal at all. The potion exploded, sending him plummeting down to the bottom of the castle. In doing so, the two gloves he was wearing came off. One landed in the cauldron while the other landed outside. The crystals on the castle all came off and the glove freaked out, zapping them, turning them into balls. This is the hero of our story, Glover. However, remember the other glove? Yeah, all stories need a villain. This is Cross-Stitch, Glover's evil counterpart, and thus our adventure begins. The air all around the castle was an ominous red. Hopefully Glover can bring peace to this land. The first sign of life I find, a bird on a swing. Okay, bird, what wisdom do you have for me? Okay, well, that was certainly something. Anyway, I went into a cave and there was a fountain that took my ball away from me. Oh right, that was a crystal originally. Doing so dropped a barrier that was preventing me from going into this building. Seems this is where our first set of levels are going to be. This was like a little hub area with 6 rooms to go in. The only one open for now was the door labeled 1, so guess we'll go in there. So here we are in level 1. There are these cards to collect. Apparently they're called Garibs in this game. Don't know what that's about. There was some kind of dolphin enemy here at the start kicking my butt. Oh yeah, the ball is a bowling ball now because you can change the ball into 4 different forms. This rainbow hoop thing here is a checkpoint. This level still felt kind of like a tutorial. There was basically no danger. Well, except that dolphin from earlier. There are these switches that Glover can hit by fist slamming down. What power? I was at the end of the stage, but it said I was missing 3 Garibs. There are 50 in total in this level. I figured they came from killing this dolphin thing, but I couldn't figure out how to do it. Hitting it with the bowling ball only stunned it. I tried hitting it with the ball, reverted back to its original crystal form, and it shattered. This is how I learned if the ball is destroyed, you just die. Glad I got that checkpoint, I guess. Seems that keeps my collected Garibs that I obtained after the checkpoint as well, which is nice. Actually, they were apparently hidden inside this cracked column. This is such a strange secret. It was actually so jank trying to grab these things, but I eventually got all 3. There we go. I'll probably 100% this game, by the way. And that's the first level finished. pretty chill so far. There's a stat screen when you finish, and ooh, is that a speedrun timer? I think my 1444 was slightly too slow. It warped me straight into the next level, it seems. Some kind of desert environment now. Man, this is just such a unique idea for a game. It changes the way you play so much, knowing you have to bring the ball along with you. Dang man, this warthog knocked my ball off the cliff. So just taking damage isn't fine if the ball is around. I've really got to take care of this thing. And then the ball just rolls away from my hand due to the slope? Jeez, man. I hope running out of lives isn't some devastating thing. Along with the switches Glover has to smash, there are ones you have to push the ball on in order to activate. This red potion makes Glover grow out big and strong. As a big strong glove, he can now push this big wall. Wonder how complex the puzzles will get in this game. To get up to this secret area, I had to first stand on the ball as the cannonball, then double jump off it. Well, looks like there's fall damage in this. Glad I wasn't on 1 HP. Okay, I slapped this wall so many times at the start of the level, but I guess I didn't do it good enough. The last 10 Garabs I was missing were down here. Heck yeah. The ball collectible is a 1-up. Into level 3 we are now. Still not much challenge thus far. They put a lot of slopes in this game. You'll quickly learn to find a safe place to store the ball if you want to go off platforming as Glover alone. Cause if not, well, it's just gonna slowly roll off the cliff and you wonder what the heck killed you. Found a yellow potion on a ledge. This one makes Glover run like the wind according to the manual. Shouldn't he be flying if he's like the wind? Love traveling super far away as Glover through somewhere super dangerous, only to discover there's a ball switch at the end of it. Can easily jump through here with Glover, but with the ball? Nope. Can't slap or throw it across either. That's what this yellow potion is for. Now Glover can propel the ball against the current successfully. That switch made this water wheel start turning, and yep, there goes the ball. Man, this is so hard to get used to. It's just a brand new genre of game to me, basically. I found this weird space portal looking thing in a secret area. Wasn't sure what it was for yet. Tried blasting it with the ball, but nothing happened. Jumping into this big flying whale's mouth was the end of the level. Aw, dang it. It didn't look like the other ends. I still was missing 8 Garabs. I guess this is taking me into the first boss fight of the game. We see Cross Stitch making some kind of cursed tower with a whale, a crab, and a fish. Hitting the whale with the ball dealt damage to it. With the whale gone, just a crab and fish to go. I feel silly writing this out. It sounds like I'm spouting nonsense. Okay, using the glove smash is how we take out the crab. Now to get rid of that fish. I see. When the fish is the only one left, it begins flying and smashes down. Now I can glove smash that, and that's the cursed sea creature tower defeated. Going on this platform warped me back to the overworld. That's Atlantis complete. It told me I missed some Garabs. Yeah, I'm aware. Unfortunately, all the Garabs I had previously collected had to be gotten again if I wanted them all. A bit unfortunate, but I guess I just need to make sure not to leave the level until I've gotten all of them. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. The graphics are pretty good, very colorful with a lot of unique textures. I think their water looks really good too. Graphically, the game kinda reminds me like something like Banjo-Kazooie, just not quite as pristine as Rare was able to pull off back then. The music is really good in this game. Every stage gets a unique song with similar theming in each world, and each one is a banger. There's one song I really remember from this game because the level gave me so much trouble. You'll see it in a bit. So that space monolith I found earlier, yeah, it's a portal. Weirdly, you have to jump into the top of it rather than the part that looks like a warp. The Garabs I missed were in here. There was a different red potion in here that made Glover's fingers sticky. Now he can walk on walls and ceilings. This is like playing N64 on the Nintendo 64. Oh wait, that's the wrong IP. Glover doesn't talk like that. Man, the controls on this ceiling were horrible. The game would keep swapping between movement being inverted or not based on how close you got to the front of the screen. I hated it. At least there's no danger here. With that, I had gotten all Garabs in all levels of the first world. Getting all the Garabs in the first world opened a bonus level in that world. This one is Frogger? So yeah, we're playing an implementation of Frogger within Glover here, and man, is it rough. I actually wonder if there was any kind of copyright issue with the PS1 Frogger in this game back in the day. To say this isn't the most eloquent Frogger gameplay is an understatement. There aren't set tiles you move to, it's just an open game, so you won't always be centered on the things you land on. In order to get yourself back to the center, you can do these tiny hops. Guess that's the fix for it. The platforms are hyper precise too. What looks to be safe may actually just be something you can't stand on at all. A really difficult aspect of this minigame is that the turtle shells sink shortly after landing on them. You have to have a plan to get away from them fast. Like here, I need to get further down the stream. The turtles are the only things that help with this, so I gotta take a risk. Just barely made it over to that log there. I cannot stress how difficult this actually is. Any of y'all that failed at this as a kid, you are now vindicated. Like, why? Why did you slide off the log there? Oh my goodness. The majority of my deaths were just jumping slightly in between platforms and sliding through them. I was so frustrated. Yeah, I was losing my mind. This is so dang janky. Turns out the level doesn't end once you get all the Garibs. Oh, why was I so greedy there? Finally, after like 40 minutes of grinding, I got through it. Whew. That was wild. I didn't end up doing the speedrun times in these levels, but man, they somehow want you to finish that in 3 minutes 45 seconds? Ain't no way. But yeah, that's World 1 complete. Because we beat the World 1 boss, we can restore another crystal to the fountain in the bottom of the castle. Here we are at level 1 of World 2. And hey, the cartwheel actually has a use. It allows Glover to squeeze between these bars. So this enemy is called Bugle, and it will just steal the ball from you. The only way to get it back is to lead it into the spikes on the wall. This thing sucks. There's also this rather tall juggling chicken that steals the ball from you. I think this replaces the dolphin thing from the last world. So here's our first instance of using the third ball form, the metal ball. If it's not made of metal, this magnet can't attract it, obviously. The magnet takes it to the top of this pachinko-like board where you drop it down and try to make it through each of the 4 holes to collect Garibs. This part is only incredibly frustrating. The way you move the magnet is ground pounding these rewind and fast forward looking buttons on the ground. It's a very slow process. Now we've got Dennis. This guy lets Glover jump incredibly high, like one of those big balls with the handle on top you'd bounce on as a kid. It's not a great way of moving around, but they place some Garibs up really high, so we've got to use him. What the heck? This gigantic bee killed me in 1 hit from full health. There was also a slot machine. Gotta get 3 of the same thing to win a prize. You can lock in a wheel with the checkmark buttons, but it was still super unlikely to line up the last one for whatever reason. Not to mention the fact that the giant bee only existed because I got 3 question marks to start, and that's what it gave me. Oh man, this was frustrating. As far as I could tell, there was no way to kill the bee. Finally got the 3 crowns, which spawned a potion to make Glover huge. And my reward for that was a 1-up. Great. Scratch that. If you get 3 frogs, it spawns a green potion which gives Glover magic that can turn enemies into frogs, including the giant bee. Oh man, that bee drove me nuts. Done with those minigames, it was kinda scary leaving my ball behind to ride this platform. But that switch is the only thing that makes it move, so... This leads to an area where I'm playing whack-a-mole, or whatever these enemies are called, I guess. Whack-a-thing. Winning each minigame added another part to this rocket, and finally it was open. I had all 65 Garibs as well. There we go, first level of World 2 down. Let's start level 2. And I didn't realize that platform was going to turn like that. Fair enough. Time to ride the roller coaster. That was the shortest ride of my life. Now I'm knocking out this freaky clown's teeth with the bowling ball. I don't know, man, this game is a fever dream. Well, really glad I took the time to knock all those down. Needed to do it for all the Garibs. I brought the ball into this cup and it seemed there was no way out. Well, ditching the ball and being teleported away is certainly a way to get out, but like, what about my ball? After getting sucked up this tube, I decided, you know what? I have no idea where the ball is. If I just jump off the cliff and die, I should respawn with it, right? And yep, that's exactly what happened. Oh, I see. This third variant of the red potion allows me to teleport the ball back to me. Ah, that makes sense. Gotta transform it into the bowling ball so it'll sink in the water along with me. However, I couldn't get the ball to go past this gigantic fan. The bowling ball didn't work, nor did the metal one. Speaking of the metal one, check out this amazing camera work here. Let me just say, Glover sometimes has one of the worst cameras I've ever played with. Like, look at this. What on earth is happening? All I see is blue and white. This is hogwash. Or here, when it just spawns me and auto-rolls the ball off the cliff. Remember I said there's a song I remember well from this game? Yeah, it's from this place. Okay, there we go. Pressing this switch with the ball turns the fan off. Maybe they never considered someone would try to roll the ball against it, and that's why the camera freaked out there? Now in another cup of water, I got a blue potion that turned Glover into a helicopter. Yeah, so Glover can fly now. The controls on this are so sensitive. You move up and down quite fast. Watch out for the bee though. That stinger explosion is absurd. And then the camera can't find me after I respawn. I was losing my marbles. Not the one Glover rolls around sometimes, the figurative ones in my head. There was a frog potion on that platform, but I just kept missing. I mean, sure, it's a skill issue on my part, but man, get me out of here. I was mortified when I saw my ball rolling away down this gigantic slide. Thankfully it was safe, and the end of the level was down there. Yeah, this is pretty funny watching this all back, but at the time, I was fuming. Boiling hot. Don't worry, we've got one more level in the carnival area to go. Just riding Dennis over these hands, and the camera freaks out again. What's that floating panel in the distance there? Maybe it'll have some use later, because right now it just kind of seems like a glitch. Don't you dare try to go through this spinny tube. Well, it's fine if you do, just don't expect to be able to see what the heck you're doing inside. Okay, see you later, ball. It's always so scary when this happens. Ah, I see. That panel from earlier was this portal that I've now activated. Sorry, I forgot the rule about the spinny tube. I was expecting to see my movement, but that's my mistake. Won't forget about that again. I don't even know what to say about this one. What little composure I had left was now out the window, or apparently it's through the floor. Aw no, I had explored everywhere I knew of in the level, but I was down 4 Garibs. You hate to see it. Ah, they're in this secret area if you turn around at the very start. Alright, let's finish this. Definitely won't miss this place, that's for sure. Oh, that's Cross-Stitch coming out of the Jack-in-the-Box. Guess it's time for a boss fight. He makes this clown supersized. So the room is constantly spinning around. You've got to take the ball to these 3 targets in various spots in the room in order to spawn bombs that kill the clown. Oh wait, it's not all bombs, just various pranks. This time he got punched in the face. After dropping this grand piano on his head, that was that. Pretty easy boss fight, nothing too special. The bonus stage here is drastically different from the last one. Glover is manning a cannon with all these cards spinning around. How did we get into this scenario? I don't know. Just gotta shoot the Garibs out of the sky. The level didn't end after that though. Maybe I've gotta shoot these cards too? I had no idea what was going on. It doesn't explain it to you or anything like that. It just kinda drops you in. I think I had to just shoot all the cards. Some of them were respawning though, but oh well. I did it, and that's what matters. That's the first time I had beaten the speedrun time, considering it's impossible not to in that stage. I don't think you unlock anything additional from doing them, it's just for a personal challenge. The 3rd crystal is back in place. Guess we're headed to World 3. Looks like we're in some kind of shipyard type area. This is gonna be so much fun. So far, it was just a nice standard little level. No camera jank, no bees blowing me up, a lot of running on the ball on water, but that's okay. One thing I was quickly noticing was that this level was just completely open and barren. There wasn't really anywhere to have danger or anything, just space. Alright, that's something. Hit that switch, which spawned another switch. Great. The other switch spawned a geyser that launched this platform up. I wondered what would happen if I went under it. Not really sure what I expected. Well, now we're in the sky. This feels more like the last world. Especially with the tilting platforms that I never expect are gonna tilt. Hitting this target made these platforms spawn around this lighthouse. Man, this looks a lot like the tower in Womp's Fortress in Mario 64. Probably a coincidence. Bouncing the ball between these 2 swinging ships was quite scary. It's definitely disappointing the sequel to this never came out. I wonder what kind of ideas they would have had with it. Some indie devs should make a Glover-like. Certainly wouldn't have as much jank as this game does. I guess that ledge is just a suggestion. Oh shoot, I can grab this sword, which is named Swish, and kill all the other enemies with it. This is crazy. This ground texture is supposed to be logs, but it looks more like I'm on some land that's plowed and ready for farming. Some kind of sentient cannonballs now. They like to roll my ball off the cliff. Swish will take care of those things just fine. Much easier than trying to turn them into a frog. I am once again at the end of the level, but missing 4 Garibs. Why must this happen to me? Okay, one thing I seriously have to give this game credit for is the fact that it saves all of your checkpoints and you can fast travel to any of them. I had no idea this was a thing until this level. Actually, an incredible quality of life thing. Yeah, I just happened to miss them at the very start of the level. Wow, and now I can warp back to the end too. So nice. Level 2 is wildly different. We're in like a treetop area out of Turok 1 now. We'll start off with the camera tricking me into thinking this was a gap. I had no idea that bridge was there. Just a reminder that controlling this ball is quite difficult. The controls in this are honestly pretty good, it's just a tough game to master. What on earth? Why are there knives slamming up and down in this treehouse? I don't really know what I expected. Like, the most simple platforms over gaps like this are suddenly a bit terrifying just because I've got to also bounce this ball across. I don't know, man. I both love and hate this game. For the most part, that level was kind of chill, nice and easy. This net sure doesn't look like something that would be all bouncy, but yeah, let's bounce around with this lobster. Oh wait, lobster's dead. Apparently if you fall far enough, you just die from fall damage even at full health. It's like Banjo-Kazooie. I'm pretty sure I cheesed this. Shouldn't I need that potion to make Glover big to push that box? Hey, if it works, it works. I do wish there were more forms of the ball transformations. The bowling ball gets used a decent amount, but that's it really. The metal one was used exactly one time for the magnet, and the crystal form is just to give you more points. I'm sure there could be lots of creative ideas for transformations. I don't know, one that makes the ball ice, or one that makes it fire. Well, I'm at the end of the level, and I'm missing 14 Garobs. That's so many. How did I screw up so bad? Oh, I somehow missed this little platform leading to a hidden room at the start. That explains it. Here we are on the ceiling again. The controls were working well this time. I have no idea why it was completely broken that first time around. This is even worse than dying by getting squished by the elevator in Duke Nukem 64. By the way, you may not have seen my video on that game. YouTube decided to age restrict it and I failed the appeal. So you'll have to find it manually if you want to watch it. The final two Garobs were on top of this arch right by the exit. That one took a while. Time for the World 3 boss. Cross Stitch is turning these frogs into... Is that Lanky Kong from DK64? What the heck? It looks just like him. The Lanky Kongs will steal your ball if you're not careful. Kind of wild to be throwing it around even as it's a bowling ball. Hitting the bigger monkey with the ball will cause it to spin rapidly around the tree, then eventually fall down and be stunned. Prime time to do a big old glove slam on his belly. Repeat 3 times and this Kong is cooked. Wait, I mean this nondescript monkey that does not resemble any Nintendo IP is cooked. The bonus level is quite strange. You're in a barrel partially filled with water and there's this super annoying fish darting back and forth. There we go, that's better. There's seemingly nowhere to go, but if you destroy the smaller barrel contained inside the larger barrel we're all inside of, it spills water, causing the water in the overarching barrel to raise. The air vent in the center propels you upwards, so you just repeat this all the way to the top. That one was the easiest one by far. Just like a normal level, but it's all bonusy. That's the 4th crystal brought back. I believe there are 3 more worlds to go. Looks like we're in the snow world now. Hopefully no ice physics to go with this ball rolling. Oh wow, I used the bowling ball to break these icicles and it turned into a snowball. That's pretty cool. It doesn't really do anything special though, just cosmetic. Is that a fire-breathing mosquito? These devs had some wild ideas, I swear. Nothing was too out there for this game. If it was thought of in brainstorming, they threw it in. Thought I could go down this hill? Yep, nah. Glover just gets enveloped in the snowball and brought down. Need a Glover getting over it hack. These dang snowballs, man. I wasn't getting anywhere. Not to mention, the giant bee was back. I wasn't really sure how I was intended to get past this part. The best thing I found was just yeeting the ball up one of them and hoping it doesn't bounce away. If the snowball collided with my ball, it didn't kill it. Of course, all this relies on me not getting sniped by one of the giant snowballs, or it's back to start for me. I really did not like this section. Well, now we've got ice physics. The ball does get kinda icy from it, but it doesn't really seem to be affected all that much. I was missing 12 Garobs at the end. Apparently this wall is breakable? It just looks like a normal old wall. What the heck? Oh well, that level's done. Won't miss it. No more snow, now we're in a lava area. The lava insta-kills the ball, as one should expect. Guess this is the prehistoric world. There was a dinosaur after my ball, but I took it out myself. No one kills my ball but me. Oh shoot, got rejected by that lava launching up. I think I got saved by iframes because the lava's a one-hit kill. They never mention this in the tutorial, but you can glove slam the ball to get the highest jump possible. How the heck was I supposed to know this? I had to have someone in my chat tell me. Now there are rocks barreling down this hill just stealing my ball. I thought it was safe over there. Come on. Once again, I am missing Garubs, yet I found the exit. Every time, man. Why can't I just cleanly beat a stage? Okay, I noticed this wall the first time through, but nothing happened. That's because for this wall in particular, you have to blast it 3 times so it'll fall over, rather than once to make it explode. These devs always keeping me on my toes, that's for sure. Now level 3 and there's a weird dinosaur with a purse right away. It wants to steal my ball so bad for some reason. It took like 10 hours to get through the water to find this cave, but the devs were smart and put one of those fast potions in here. Wish this was used more often because it's fun going this fast. Found this weird Stonehenge ripoff type thing. Had to throw the ball into each one to lower the stone in the center. Pushing the button on the center pillar made the lava sink in a different area. Glover can overpower volcanoes. Another reminder that bouncing this ball all over the place is quite difficult, even this far in. I want Glover too. Maybe throwing the ball is the better play here. Kind of forgot that was a strat too. Wow, that dinosaur really wants the ball. Did a full-on belly flop straight on the ground. No cameraman, I actually didn't want you to turn around right as I made that jump over the dangerous lava. I can't believe I survived that. Okay, this time the Garubs I were missing was completely ridiculous. You have to lead the clingy dinosaur over to this tree and they just spawn around it for whatever reason. How in the world are you expected to find that? That one makes no sense. Oh, okay, there's this microscopic heart on one side of the tree. I guess that's the hint? Wow. Time for the World 4 boss. Cross Stitch is just spawning a flamethrower from its fingers to release this frozen dinosaur. So for this fight, you just roll the ball down the hill and hope it rams into the dinosaur. It somehow teleports right back to you, which is nice. After hitting it 3 times, the dinosaur just explodes. That was the easiest fight so far. For the bonus level, you only play as the ball. No glove to be seen here. Oh, and there's also a massive wave of lava chasing you. It's actually quite hard to collect all the Garubs along the way. That lava wall is fast. And then there's these ledges you have to bounce over. The ball just gets so out of control every time. Like, wow, I was struggling quite a bit here. They don't give you too much room for error. Actually, that wasn't that hard. Took like 6 tries or so. I don't know why I was making it sound so awful. Okay, there's the 5th crystal placed back in the castle. The world is almost safe once again. Alright, world 5 I believe this is. We're in some kind of rainy castle area with electric beams. Do not let the ball get shocked. Bad news. Not gonna lie, this lightning flashing effect was super annoying. Like, I get, you want to make it immersive or whatever, but man, this is annoying to see. Maybe it's less annoying on a CRT? Here's a pair of shoes just flailing around. And then I found a multicolored star that turned the ball into a big old beach ball. The physics get kinda weird when it's like this. Wait, what? I got turned into a frog? That was supposed to be my superpower. At least I can eat enemies like we're playing Chameleon Twist suddenly. I guess turning me into a frog isn't the only thing that green enemy does. The ball is all warped and discolored. The controls are horrible when it's like this. Dang, I was missing a single Garub, and it was once again all the way at the start of the stage. They keep hiding these way up high. Let's see how the next level is going. Ah, fair enough. The switch to open the gate wasn't making any sense to me. I'd put the ball on it, the gate would open, but then it would immediately shut. What's up with that? Honestly, I don't know if this is intended, but I let the ball roll down to open the gate while I was standing next to it. Maybe it was because there was a switch to push in the next room that just opened the gate permanently. After killing this mummy, I was at the end once again, now missing 7 Garubs. I mean, at least you can warp back to earlier sections. It would be kinda miserable otherwise. Ah, you had to push this out of place window to reveal a switch on the wall. Hitting that spawned the last 7 in the first room. Getting one last scam in on me at the very end, huh? Just launch the ball off the cliff. I was going to leave you alone, but now you have to die. Hey look, there's a guillotine in the next level. Do you ever think how it's messed up there's a move in Pokemon called Guillotine? Aren't they supposed to faint when they lose in battle? How do they only faint after getting their head removed? I'm sure it's explained in the manga somewhere. I was kind of flying through this world, and flying off the cliff at the same time. There weren't really that many tricky obstacles here. Apparently, this is the troll world. Everything keeps tricking me. Not sure if this was cheese, but well, I had no other way to get around this gate. Weird that the switch to open the gate was on the other side of it and required the ball. Whose roof is this? Why do you have a completely exposed electrical system sitting on top of it? Get it together, buddy. No idea how I didn't get hit by any of these spike walls being shoved out, but this was a rare level where I'd gotten all the Garibs before reaching the end. Time for the boss. So here we are, fighting Frankenstein's monster. It seems Cross-Stitch has found a way to bring it to life, the power of lightning. So there are all these platforms increasing in height around the outside of the room. If you get touched by the boss, it's a one-hit kill. There's also a switch on the floor, which I figured must achieve something, but nothing was happening. I figured, okay, they get progressively higher. I must need to climb to the top where something that can deal damage to the boss will be there. But upon getting to the very top, there was absolutely nothing. What the heck, man? I did notice whenever the boss got near one of the platforms, it would get covered in electricity, but I still wasn't sure what to do. I really just kept dying over and over. It just kept repeating. The boss would go to the center, get covered in electricity, then my ball would die in one hit. I was so confused. I had like 30 lives at the start of this boss, and it felt like I was going to game over. Wait a second, there is a switch at the top. It's one that the ball needs to hit, and it's above the lowest platform. Well, I have no way to reach that. Finally though, some progress. I ground pounded a platform, and it lowered by one block, electrocuting the boss in the process. So basically, that switch on the ground is a switch to reset the platforms back to their initial state. If you ground pound on one, it'll lower, and the one across from it will raise. Your goal is to get the ball up to the switch at the top. I really did not like this boss. 30 lives down the drain and I got a game over. Fortunately, the game saves every time you complete a level, so there wasn't really any progress lost. Finally though, I rearranged the platforms and got the ball up there. I really feel like having a puzzle boss that also kills you in one hit is not the best choice. At least you also kill the boss in one hit, I guess that's nice. So what's the bonus level here? Why, we're in a maze with ghosts chasing us. I think this was inspired by Galaga. No Glover once again, just the ball rolling around and gotta get all the Garibs. The timer is kinda short here, so it's tough to get all of them fast enough. Dodging the ghosts is easy though. Unfortunately, getting all the Garibs isn't the end. You have to also find the portal out. How close could I have gotten there? You've gotta be kidding me. Took like 5 tries to make it out that time. Alright, just one final world to go. Okay, one last time, let's open up a new area. This is the space-themed world, and we've got low gravity. It's pretty sweet being able to jump so high. The ball bounces high too. That enemy kinda looks like Invader Zim. I've never watched that show before. Found these fan things that were launching me way up in the sky. Why does Glover fall at normal speed if there's low gravity? That just doesn't make sense. Landed on this flying saucer and decided to break a piece of it. What are they gonna do about it? I'm Glover. I'm unstoppable. Oh shoot, they're zapping me with a smaller flying saucer. Maybe that's what they're gonna do about it. There was a switch inside that spawned a rocket, blowing up the door that was covering the exit. Got all Garibs right away too. That was such an easy level for it being the final world. Am I supposed to time running through this spiky pinching thing? It's low gravity. I'm just gonna bounce over it. Combining the fast potion with this low gravity is kind of a nightmare. Won't be doing that one again. I found all the Garibs easily enough, as well as the exit. Problem was, there was a giant door blocking it, so I couldn't get the ball to it. I was really stumped on how to open this door. What? It's this switch at the very start of the level? I ran the ball over that so many times. Whatever, level 2 down. Oh, wait, it's a timed thing. That's why it never worked, gotcha. Okay, now there we go. Actually finished level 2 this time. Hey, what gives? Invader Zim over here stole my ball. You have to put the ball on one switch while glove pounding the other. But Invader Zim over here keeps launching it off the cliff. Going over this spinny cog thing was pretty terrifying. Man, I'm so close to the end, I can taste it. They've got conveyors in this stage too. Cross-Stitch is really pulling out all the stops this time. The ball is so sensitive to them, especially with the low gravity. I was absolutely out of control here with this fan under me. I thought the low gravity was cool initially, but I started getting a bit annoyed with it. The ball seems to roll away from you a lot easier. Like, what is this? I go through this portal and the ball just flies off the cliff for no reason? What am I supposed to do about that? Like, why? Why is the ball just flying out of my hand over and over at this part? I had a ton of lives, so it wasn't that big of a deal. There was this one part where I had to put the ball on this platform that went along a rail or a wire or something like that. I wasn't really sure what to do after that though. I tried slapping it across the gaps, but there was no way that was actually going to work. No idea how I actually got this to stick the landing. I'm sure there was some more elegant way to get the ball across the air, but hey. It works, right? Not sure if there's a way to open this glass, but I was just barely able to throw the ball over the top of it anyway. There we go. Let's do this boss fight. We see a cutscene where Cross Stitch turns this innocent little toy robot into a massive mecha-killing machine. This Cross Stitch fella must be stopped. The robot drops these bombs that create some rather large explosion radii. This could get ugly. I moved inside the robot's foot and Glover did a little dance. That was strange. Oh, it warped me inside the robot. Glover drops the ball down a hole and began firing it at Cross Stitch, who seemed to be flying on a jetpack or something like that. A barrier lowered, revealing a purple and orange robot, which Cross Stitch subsequently flew into. Oh snap, it's a classic mech battle. It suddenly turns into a shooter with Cross Stitch slowly firing missiles. You have to launch the balls to blow them up before they hit you, blasting Cross Stitch's robot several times in the interim. I knocked both the launchers off its arms, and now it was dropping bugs to try to infiltrate my robot? This is so wild, where did any of this come from? Through the power of brute force, I won. Luckily, if you die, you don't start the fight over. It just takes a life away and the fight continues on as if nothing happened. The robot blows up and Cross Stitch gets launched into the abyss. The bonus stage in this world uses that helicopter potion I found ages ago. Just fly around in this rather tall circular room, flying into all the Garibs. It's really not hard to do at all, more like a victory lap for making it to the end, I suppose. Let's return the final crystal to the castle. Hopefully things will be back to normal from now on. The crystals all return to their rightful places on top of the castle spires. And look, the wizard is back safe and sound. The wizard zaps Cross Stitch, turning it back into a normal old glove. We get an image saying congratulations with the wizard posing all cool like. And then the credits finally roll. What are these, cheat codes or something? That's that farting bird from the start of the game. So yeah, if you pause the game and press the C buttons, it makes all those gross noises the bird was making at the start of the game. I believe the bird is telling you the cheat codes when you get near it, but it would be really hard to figure out what the heck is going on without beating the game first. There's a bunch of stuff here like making the ball big, making it bounce higher, changing the texture of the Garibs, messing with the camera, and giving yourself infinite health or any of the power-ups whenever you want. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it. My journey to beating Glover. I can safely say I've never played anything like that. Like a platformer mixed with Marble Madness or Super Monkey Ball or something like that. But then also the bouncing and throwing of the ball. It's just so creative. In general, it was pretty fun, but it has its issues. Sometimes the ball just wouldn't do what I wanted it to, and I felt it was due to the game's controls. I would often throw the ball on accident when I was trying to bounce it because bouncing the ball you tap B while throwing it is hold B. But you don't have to hold it very long to do a throw. Also, the camera was just so bad so many times. It gives you control of it, but all the time the game would be like, I know better than you. You want to have the cameraman stuck behind this wall, and you can't see anything. It's a pretty decent game, but it's not perfect. I think the opinions on this one are going to be pretty divided. I like the way it looks and generally like the way it plays, but it's not my favorite. I gave Glover a 6 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 5 out of 10 for difficulty. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. Alright, we'll do random track. Alright, we'll play Beware Brutal Carnival. There are 148 games on the list. We got all kinds of games here like Space Invaders and Gex 3 Deep Undercover Gecko and maybe even Ready to Rumble Boxing. But only one can win. So let's see which one it is. 3, 2, 1, go. Alright, they are off. J-League is skyrocketing down, but Top Gear Hyperbike actually is the first one down, but misses the hole. Let's see, Top Gear Hyperbike is the first through the hole, then followed by Nightmare Creatures Choro Q2, which is the sequel to Penny Racers. Top Gear Hyperbike coming through the two. Rakuga Kids, Nightmare Creatures Cruising USA as well, but we still have Top Gear Hyperbike in the lead. Now we're coming down through these star platforms, through the bumps as well. Last Legion UX on the other side as well as bottom of the ninth. We got Top Gear Hyperbike dominating currently, but getting stuck at the star a little bit. Oh, and Top Gear Hyperbike gets squished. And Magical Tetris Challenge takes advantage and builds up a bit more on this lead. Top Gear Hyperbike is no longer in the lead. It's now Nightmare Creatures in first place, followed by Magical Tetris Challenge. But Nightmare Creatures has quite the lead currently. Rakuga Kids, Magical Tetris Challenge right behind. And getting dumped out of the cylinder is Nightmare Creatures. Nobody else actually threw. And there's Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku. Oh my god, that would be fun. We're into the spin cycle now. And it actually appears Nightmare Creatures instantly got out. But Nightmare Creatures is just kind of weaving back and forth, not really making any progress. And Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Juku is in the lead, folks. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku in first place, Cruising USA right behind A Bug's Life, Goemon's Great Adventure. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku, though, in the lead. Currently the favorite, folks. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku coming down the swirls. There are a couple more obstacles. We'll see if it gets switched up. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku, A Bug's Life, Cruising USA, Nightmare Creatures, Rakuga Kids, Goemon's Great Adventure as well. But it is Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku coming around these turns, but getting a little bit of a bad angle. And we got the launchers here. Will it get through safely? It does beautifully. Doesn't get phased by it coming through the bounce thing. Oh, and Rakuga Kids capitalizes, taking a big boost through the bounce thing as Rakuga Kids, Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku. Oh, but Rakuga Kids gets held up a bit, and Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku's coming through. And we're coming down to the last ramp. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku and Rakuga Kids, Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku comes through. And we're into the maze here. There's a maze at the end. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku, Rakuga Kids battling it out. They're coming down the staircase. And it's Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku, Rakuga Kids Cruising USA. Oh my god, Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku is dominating this staircase, going down so quickly. There's not much left, folks. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku coming to the speed bumps. And I don't think anything's going to stop this. Oh, but the goal's moving! Oh, and it does land. It could have missed. I did say we are due for Mahjong. Ide Yosuke no Mahjong Joku. It has been decided. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you, I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like, or maybe even drop a subscription to the channel. Or you could even click one of these other videos that are on screen right now. And yeah, see you next time.